Good morning, AMWIN families. I'm going to do a little video about a project you can do for kindergarten, first and second grade. For kindergarten, parents are going to have to do some prep, and for the first graders maybe a little, and then the second graders, I think you can do this on your own. No help. But we'll see. I'm not really good at this video thing. Let's see if I can move it. Is that better? I don't know. Anyway, good morning. I think it's Monday. We're going to make some little cards that we're going to practice our sewing on, and then you can hang them up, and you could draw in the middle if you want. You could put little messages on them and hide them around the house. Go look for them. So what you're going to need is some cardboard, which I just cut up a box, and then the other thing I did was get some other thin cardboard from a case of sparkling water, so it doesn't look too bad on the back. And that's the front. So what you're going to need is some cardboard or some thick paper, some scissors that can cut paper, and a ruler. I only have a little one. I don't know why I don't have a long one. You probably have a long one. A ruler, a pencil, and a hole punch. If you don't have a hole punch and you have a sharp sewing needle, you could punch the holes with that. And then eventually you're going to need a needle. If you don't have a needle, you can wrap the end of your yarn with tape, masking tape or scotch tape, and then you're going to need some yarn. Any kind of yarn. We'll talk about that when we get to it. So you have your cardboard. So parents, if you're doing this for a kindergartner, you want to cut it and then hole punch it for them. So this one I drew a circle, and then I hole punched around an odd number. It's easier with an odd number of holes. This one I I drew a heart shape, so second graders, you can do this. And then cut it out and put the hole punches in. You could do a square, like the original one is a square. I drew it first with the pencil. So if you're going to draw a square, parents, let's say you're going to do a kindergarten one. So you could measure it. This is 4 inches this way, so I make it 4 inches this way. So I mark it 4 inches. Draw a line. Now I have a square. Can you see that? It's a learning curve. Cut it. So if you have all this ready for the kindergartners, then you can use your ruler or use the lines, in this case, that are kind of on the cardboard. Cardboard's a little harder for me to punch, but there's so many different kinds of paper out there. And then punch away about a quarter of an inch, maybe half an inch, no more, apart, and one in each corner. I'm going to try to do 3 on this side. See, that's it. How is everyone? It's supposed to rain. Pacha and I are going to go for a walk later in Curtis Park, in case anyone's out there wants to go. Oh, we have to stay 6 feet away. There you go. So if you have this ready for your kindergartner, this is a great way for them to practice threading a needle and doing a little sewing. Some of them have probably done sewing with the kindergarten teachers. I don't really know exactly what they've done this year. So what you want to do is get your yarn. So if you have thick yarn, you can go ahead and use that. If you have thinner yarn, you can use 2 strands together. If you have really, really thin yarn, whoops, you could double, triple it up, and then it would look a little better. So I have some doubled yarn right here, and I cut it what we call a king's yard. Second graders and first graders know what that is. From your nose to your outstretched hand. That's as much as you ever want to sew with. You want to always cut your yarn or your thread a king's yard long. And that will keep it from getting tangled and be easier to pull through the fabric, or in this case the cardboard. So to thread your needle, kindergartners, you want to take, and it's easier for the kindergartners if they had one, take the sewing needle, but the eye of the needle, the eye is right here. The point is here, too pointy, and the eye is right here. It's the eye of the needle. You want to hold the eye of the hand, you want to hold the needle in the hand that you write with, or color with, or whatever hand you feel like is stronger. And then you want to pinch the yarn and you put the eye over the yarn, not the yarn through the eye. The other way to do it is to put the eye of the needle and loop it over, pull it out, and then push the eye of the needle onto the yarn. It's called threading the needle. Okay, I'm going to do that again. So we'll try it with a different yarn. This is a single. I'm going to cut it, king's yard, from my fingers to my nose, right there. That's where I cut it. It's a king's yard. Do you want to know why it's called a king's yard? I'm going to tell you. Back long ago, they didn't invent inches or a way to measure, and when they had to build something in a village, they would measure from the king of the village, from his nose, because he was always a man, to his fingers, and use that as a measure. So 2 king's yards or 3 king's yards or half a king's yard, they could use that to build things with. And that's how they started measuring things. So you have the eye of the needle and the end of the yarn. I'm going to push the eye of the needle over the end of the yarn and then pull it through. So now you have a short end and a long end. At the long end, and parents, you can help with this for the little ones, you're going to tie a knot. You can tie a double knot because it's a big hole that we've made in here. So you always want to start coming up from the bottom. Now here, if the knot is too small like it is on mine, you can tie it, which is safer because then it won't pull. So you can tie the end to the working yarn. This is the working yarn right here, your needle, and this is the tail. So what you want to make sure is that you don't just pull the needle when you sew, or the yarn will come out of the eye of the needle. So every time you pull your needle through, you want to grab on or pinch right here so the yarn doesn't come out. You're going to come up and go down. I think I'm talking too much. Go up and go down. All the way around. And then once you get all the way around, you can I suppose there's somebody who knows how to edit this. You can speed this up, but I don't know if I can get to that. Okay, now you've gone all the way around. That's a running stitch. So to make it look really cute, you take another piece of yarn and you go the other way. So I filled in every hole with another color. See that? So kindergartners, you can have it ready. Parents have it ready for them, and they can just do the sewing. First and second graders, you can do most of this on your own. And then you'll have a whole bunch of these. You can hang them up, make a little mobile out of them. You can draw in the middle. So here's the thing, second graders, is you could write your name on them and hide it somewhere in the house and see if your parents could, or grandparents or aunts or uncles or someone who lives in the house can find it. Oh, I bet you're wondering why I have a can of tuna here. Because if you're going to draw a circle, you can trace with a can to draw a nice round circle. That's why I had that out. So those are the things you can do with yarn and cardboard, a little needle. Or again, you can just tape the end of your yarn with some masking tape or Scotch tape and push it through. So let's see if we can get that onto YouTube. And I have my own YouTube channel. I don't know. It seems kind of dicey, but we're going to give it a try and see how it goes. I don't know about editing. I might try. All right, friends. Have a lovely day. We'll have something for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders tomorrow or the next day. Bye. Love you. Miss you.